Judy from Witchpeace Craft. I'm laughing because this is my third attempt to try and do this small video. This week's video is a crafty catch-up and the week that was. I'm mainly prepping for my next market in November. So welcome everyone, all those new subbies, stick around, enjoy the content, make sure you leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, all that. It helps me grow the channel, which brings me to, unless YouTube attack it, I am now over 2,500 subscribers, just. Now that's happened before where they come along and do a sweep and I suddenly drop. But we'll see how long it lasts. I am at 2,500 subscribers. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the content and stick around and leave me feedback, information. For me, it's all about the crochet, knitting, a tiny little bit of sewing, and any feedback you want to give me that isn't negative or hurtful. Okay, let's get on with it. So we are doing crochet roulette with Tracy from Travel Crochet, and we hit week 8. We are currently in week 9, but I can't show you week 9 because she doesn't really release her video on what everybody's made till Sunday. Today's Saturday. You will see it Sunday morning, but she doesn't do it till Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and I don't want to steal her thunder because my pictures will be in it. So for week 8, it was rainbow colors and a bird. Now, you know, straight away you think of a rainbow lorikeet and all those things, but I was going through patterns, behave, and I found an old pattern from Lincraft which had Australiana animals, and I have made Baxter the bilby before, and there are some other animals on it, but in it was Ellie the emu, and I decided to make Ellie the eccentric emu. So this is velvet yarn that I had, and I couldn't get any more when I went back to buy it, so I had to settle for this bit, her very rainbowy body. This is glitter yarn and some sort of DK 8-ply, 2 strands held together for her head and neck in orange and yellow, bit of velvet yarn on her head. And then for her legs and her very knobbly knees, I use Cairns party yarn in red that I've had for a while. Now the pattern didn't give it wings, and I thought it just looked funny, so I gave her a couple of little wings. And yes, they do come from about there to there, but trust me, I was playing yarn chicken to get 2 little wings out of what was left. She has a floppy head, but she is designed to sit down and be a little floppy. And she does have an amazing face. Look, I don't know if I'll sell it on my market stall. If I do, she will go really cheap. Maybe I'll just leave her sitting there, and if someone says how much, I'll say how much would you pay for her and see what they come up with. Because to be honest, she is a mishmash of yarns, but I felt like I did sort of meet the brief, a bird using rainbow colors. Ellie the eccentric emu who cannot decide what color feathers to have. So that was for Crochet Roulette week 8. So I did that sort of market out of the blue, local community market, which was Halloween themed. I had reasonably good sales, and I said I would need to market prep before my next market in early November. And I have started to market prep. So I made a turtle. If you haven't seen Pink October, go back and watch that video. There is that pink turtle up there. I said I needed to make 3 turtles. I have made 3. This is another one. This is blanket yarn in a variegated one that Spotlight brought out for like a week and then it was gone. And this is blanket yarn. And the tutorial is by Ella at No Catchy Name. I do like that tutorial, except now I've decided to change one thing. I live very close to the Great Barrier Reef, one of the biggest wonders in the world. And turtles do not have a tail. So I did not give this turtle a tail, and I won't be in future. And land turtles are not turtles. They are tortoises, a totally different animal. So this is my ocean-going turtle without his tail. This tutorial, I really love it. They either turn out this size or bigger. I'd like to get a smaller one. I do have the pattern, paid for pattern, Myrtle the turtle, but whenever I've tried to make them, they come out too small. I'd like one a bit bigger, but you never know. I might try and Myrtle the turtle in a much heavier weight yarn when my hands aren't sore. But this is another turtle. And as I said, I've got 3. One more to show you, but you have to wait for week 9 of Crochet Roulette to see that one. So I sold, was it 1 or 2 or 3 chicken and the eggs, and I made one last night. Look, when I got this pattern, and I'll have to put links in the description below, I can't remember, it's a paid for pattern. I really loved making them, and they literally flew off the shelf. But I don't know what it is. I don't enjoy making them anymore. I do embroidered eyes. I did on the turtle because it's usually the little people buying these, and the parents want embroidered eyes, not artificial eyes. I might try one with artificial eyes and see how I go, although I have come up with an idea regarding these that may inspire me to make more. Same as the turtles. I had an idea this morning and I thought I could make more turtles and do it this way. Anyway, I made a chicken and the egg. The other thing I sold was 2 rubber ducks. I'd never made them before. This is the first market I showed them at, and I sold the 2 smaller ones and the larger one didn't go. But I've made 2 this size, same as the large one. This is a free Instagram tutorial, and I'm really annoyed at myself because I only just looked at the name and I've forgotten the name. I'll have to put it in the description below. All 3 have turned out well, same as the one I had on hand. These 2 have turned out exactly the same size. This is Motivera blanket yarn, some scrap orange I had with embroidered eyes. I think I might try and make some smaller ones. These ones I sold for $12. The smaller ones were $10. And as I've said before, pricing is individual. It's up to the demographic you're selling to and what you think people will pay. And they were quite happy to pay $10 or $12. Anyway, I have 3 this size now. And I quite enjoy making the ducks. They do whip up very quickly. I know other people have made them in different colors like pink and blue, but for me, I have so much of this yellow yarn that I am coming up with an idea of what I will do with these ducks in yellow. So they're the 3 plushies that I've made for market prep. Now my number 1 seller was my tea towels with toppers that I embroider on, and have been for years. I can't remember if I sold 20 or 21. But in order to be prepped for the next market, because last year at this market I sold 39 and I dropped 40, I at least want 40, and I have to prep a lot of them. Now for the last 3-4 years I've had the price point of $6, $8 and $10. But I went shopping today and the tea towels have gone up by 50 cents. The cotton I use has gone up by 25 cents. So for this market, they'll stay at that price point because I have a tub of stock that I am using up that I paid the old prices for. And once that's gone, which will be this market, the next market I will have to change my price points to make some profit, because that's, you know, a 75-cent increase. So I probably will do 7, 12, I don't know. It depends, because the ones I do for $10 have gone up by $1. So, how many tea towels have I prepped in 2 weeks? Good question. That's 1 stack. Ta-da. That is the other stack. So, I sold 20 or 21, and I haven't reached that amount yet. So let me know, guess in the comments below, how many tea towels the last 2 weeks have I done. So how do I do it? In the morning, I have about half an hour to spare while I'm having coffee, and I set one up ready to go. In my break, I pretty much make it to finish, except sew in the ends and sew on a button. I bring it home, sew in the ends, sew on a button, and a tea towel is done. So 1 stack, 2 stacks, how many is it? Let me know in the comments below. It's not 20, anything below 20. Have a guess. Now, I have to do a bit of a correction. I am and still making them friendship bracelets with little hearts I'm putting on. And I said this was a passionate crafter tutorial. Wrong. I don't know why I thought that. It has nothing to do with that person. It came out of, this pattern came out of my Tom Daly Made with Love book that Reeves bought me for Christmas. It's a little pattern in there. So that's my correction. I made a mistake. Probably because I was tired or rushing, and I don't know. But my apologies to everyone and to Tom Daly, because it's actually a pattern out of his book. And I do believe there's going to be like Wool Wars on UK TV, which Tom Daly is going to be hosting. And I think it's like extreme knitting or something. Sounds like fun. You never know. I might watch it. And the other thing I've been working on, I finished it to the point it needs a border, is my Luck of the Draw 12 blanket. I've just got to put a border on it. But lo and behold, they've already brought out Luck of the Draw 13. So I'm already behind the 8 ball. I don't know if I'll get time to do Luck of the Draw 13. I haven't even set it up. But who knows? You never know. Market prep. I'm getting carried away with trying to come up with some unique ideas. All the stall bays have been sold at this market, and no doubt there will be quite a few crocheters, and I want a point of difference, something someone else haven't thought of. You know, like turtles get made, loaf cats get made, that's dragons get made. I want something different. So if you have any suggestions of something in plushy especially, acrylic's not hard for me. It takes more time, but I have a lot of acrylic patterns. But as far as plushy goes, what would you suggest? I am going to do some mystery bags, probably about 10 of them, because when I was looking at my inventory, there's a bit of plushy stock there that I've been carting around for a while. So I might do some mystery bags just for a point of difference. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. So, price increases. I'm going to have a bit of a rant here. Because market prep and making plushies and little amigurumis requires fibre fill. I do have some on hand, but I had the opportunity yesterday to go to Spotlight, and I thought, well, I'll buy a bag because I'm going to need a lot more. And it's been $27 a kilo. Except yesterday when I went to pick it up, it's suddenly gone up to $30 a kilo. It's gone up by $3, which is absolutely ridiculous. I was so annoyed. I didn't buy it, and I didn't even look at the yarn. I walked out. I didn't buy anything. I was just so, I cannot believe a $3 price increase on an item. So we used to have Lincraft, who sold fibre fill, but they've closed down. So Spotlight, to my knowledge, has a monopoly on selling fibre fill in Cairns. And are they profiteering by putting a $3 price increase? Possibly. Unless there's a massive shortage in the world of fibre fill, I have no idea why it went up by that much. When tea towels went up between 50 cents and $1, and the cotton I used went up by 25 cents, how come fibre fill went up by $3? Answer the question, Spotlight. Not happy. Anyway, my other thought was, when I get time next week, I'm going to go to Big W, which is a department store that has like a section of craft, and see if they sell fibre fill. Now, if they don't, I often get asked to do surveys by this store, and I'm going to put in their survey that they should start stocking this at a reasonable price and bring some competition back into the local market. Because Fibre fill is part of our hobby and part of why we do markets and what have you. And the cost of living, besides food and fuel and rent and housing, even hobby projects are going up. Everything is going up. But a $3 price increase on one item is ridiculous. Whether you agree with me or not. Please, stop, Spotlight, just take my money and my wallet. That's how I felt. You know, just keep handing it over, because no one's going to hold you accountable for your massive price increase on one item. Enough said. Chill. Guys, I'm still be market prepping. I still have a Pink October video. I've got lots of photos coming in that are really great and have inspired me with some other ideas, and for my market are not necessarily plushies. So I hope you come back and watch that when I upload it. And yes, make sure you stay well, you stay safe. Check out my tutorial demonstration on tea-tail toppers. I get told a lot at the next market, they'll all say it. These are great gifts for teachers, including male teachers. My son's a teacher in London, and when I asked him what student gifts he gets, he opened these cupboard doors and there were 2 shelves of mugs. He said, all those mugs over the years have been given to me by students. He said, if I see another mug, he said, I have to try and smile. He said, I should go through them and just give them away to charity. There's never in, the next 10 years I will use all those mugs. But yes, he's often said to friends when they visit, help yourself to a mug. But even he said male teachers live on their own or in apartments and they like these. He actually got me to make some so he could take them to some of the females that he works with, and one other guy who he said could really use one at home. Anyway, have fun, have a crafty day, and if you get a price increase you're not happy with, let the store and management know. It's the only way we'll make them accountable and try and stop this massive cost of living increase that is sweeping the world. Bye for now.